Hey everyone, welcome back to Everyday AI Made Simple. Let's dive into what's been shaking up the AI world, because wow, there's been a lot. Between layoffs, new tools hitting the market, and some eyebrow-raising experiments, it honestly feels like we're watching the whole industry reshape itself in real time. So first up, Elon Musk's AI startup, XAI. This one's huge. Late Friday, they announced layoffs, about 500 employees gone. That's roughly a third of their biggest team, the data annotation folks who've basically been the ones teaching Grok, their chatbot, how to interpret and categorize raw data. These were the people labeling everything, setting the foundation. But the company has now made a hard pivot. They sent out emails calling it a strategic pivot, away from generalist annotation and into building what they're now calling specialist AI tutors. Instead of thousands of people labeling across all kinds of content, they want highly skilled experts in science, coding, finance, law, media, medicine, and safety. And here's the kicker. They said publicly they're planning to grow that specialist team by 10 times. So yes, 500 people were cut, but they're basically saying, we're scaling back the generalist roles and ramping up domain-specific talent. That makes sense if you think about the future of AI. General labeling gets you to a baseline, but if you want truth-seeking AGI, like Musk keeps saying, you need tutors who actually know the subject. They even ran internal skills tests last week before the layoffs, asking employees to prove themselves in coding, finance, internet culture, and safety. Those who didn't align with the new focus were cut. On Slack, their main annotator channel went from about 1,500 people to suddenly hundreds fewer in just one evening. Pretty dramatic. Now, a little context. Musk has a track record of swinging big with his companies. At Tesla, he gutted middle management layers to push speed. At Twitter, now X, he cut thousands of employees to reshape the platform's direction. And now, with XAI, it looks like he's willing to sacrifice speed in raw data labeling for a sharper, more specialized long game. The logic is, if AI is going to be truth-seeking, like Musk always says, then it can't just be trained by generalists who skim data. It needs subject matter experts guiding it, almost like professors shaping a student. The question, of course, is whether that trade-off pays off or slows them down in the short term. While Musk is restructuring, Anthropic has been rolling out something that feels equally game-changing, but in a very different way. Claude for Chrome. Yeah, Claude can now literally take actions inside your browser. It can see what you're looking at, click buttons, fill in forms, and automate workflows right inside Chrome. Think scheduling your calendar, handling expense reports, or even testing new website features, all done directly through the browser. But here's the thing. The browser is a wild place, and it's also a risky playground. Anthropic has been upfront about the safety challenges. They've been running red team experiments and came across some pretty concerning results. Without safeguards, they tested 123 prompt injection cases across 29 attack scenarios, and the success rate of attacks was 23.6%. That's almost 1 in 4 attacks slipping through. One example was almost scary simple. A malicious email disguised as a security notice telling Claude to delete emails for mailbox hygiene. No confirmation, just instructions. And Claude, following its logic, went ahead and deleted the user's emails without asking. That's exactly the kind of vulnerability we're talking about. But here's where it gets interesting. With new safety mitigations, things like site-level permissions, action confirmations, and blocking entire categories of high-risk sites, Anthropic managed to cut the attack success rate down to 11.2%. That's half the risk it started with. And on really browser-specific attacks, like hidden malicious fields in a website's DOM that humans can't even see, they dropped the attack rate from 35.7% to 0. Zero. Now think about the upside here. If Claude can eventually do this safely, it could handle half the boring stuff we all click through every day. Filling out expense reports, copying data between dashboards, scheduling multiple meetings without jumping tabs. That's not just convenience, that's hours saved. But the risks are real. And Anthropic's basically telling us, don't throw your banking or medical logins at this thing yet. They've only opened the pilot to about 1,000 Claude Max users on a waitlist, And they're stressing that this is research mode, not prime time. All right, switching gears a little. Google also dropped something yesterday that deserves attention. They launched the Gemma 3270M model. And the cool part? It's open source, and it's optimized for low compute environments and edge devices. That means it's small, 270 million parameters compared to the billions you see in mainstream models, but fast, multilingual, and perfect for real-time use in places where compute power is limited. Think IoT devices, embedded systems, or developers who just want something lightweight but powerful. This is part of Google's push to democratize AI through open releases. On the consumer side, Lepro, a smart lighting company, unveiled something straight out of a sci-fi script. They now have AI-powered lights that literally listen to your conversations. So let's say you're chatting about having friends over for dinner. Your lights delights detect that and adjust the ambiance automatically. If you mention a movie night, boom, the lighting shifts to something more cinematic. Cool? Yes. A little creepy? Also yes. And here's where it gets tricky. For people who want total smart home automation, this sounds amazing. But privacy advocates are going to jump on this. Do you really want your light bulbs listening to conversations about your weekend plans or personal life? If those signals are processed locally, maybe it's fine. But if they're going to the cloud, suddenly your mood lighting is also data collection. It's a glimpse into how ambient intelligence could actually show up in your living room. Now let's talk about new products that caught my eye. Grammarly has gone way beyond proofreading. They rolled out a whole suite of AI agents built right into their document platform. These agents can handle plagiarism detection, predictive grading, tone analysis, and even detailed writing feedback. That's a big step into the education space. It's not just helping you fix typos anymore. It's giving you something closer to a digital writing coach. For students, that could mean faster feedback. For teachers, maybe less grading time. And for professionals, it's just one more way Grammarly is trying to entrench itself as your all-in-one writing assistant. In healthcare, Reveal Health Tech just secured $7.2 million in funding. They're scaling up tools like BioCanvas, which uses AI for clinical trial recruitment, and Prism AI, which automates healthcare workflows. Healthcare is one of those industries where AI adoption has been slower because of regulation and safety concerns, but the money flowing in shows momentum is definitely building. Imagine if AI can shave weeks off trial recruitment, or free doctors from repetitive admin tasks. That's time that goes straight back into patient care. Cybersecurity had its own big headline. Sola Security announced a $35 million Series A for its no-code AI cybersecurity platform. Their pitch is simple. Security teams don't need to be expert coders anymore. With their platform, you can build custom apps to secure systems using drag-and-drop tools. It's part of this bigger wave of no-code everything, where AI is making specialized domains more accessible. For smaller companies without big security budgets, this could be a lifesaver. And stepping back for a second, this all ties into the bigger picture. Companies aren't just chasing big, flashy AI anymore. They're focusing on practical deployment, things that improve efficiency today. You've got XAI shifting into domain-specific tutors, Anthropic embedding agents directly into browsers, Grammarly expanding into education, Lepro reshaping consumer tech with AI-driven lights, and startups like Reveal and Sola showing that vertical specialization is where the money is flowing. It's pretty clear. We're moving from broad generalist AI into a world of domain expertise, embedded intelligence, and tools that actually integrate seamlessly into our everyday environments, whether that's your browser, your healthcare system, your writing app, or even your living room lights. And let's be honest, this is also the AI arms race in action. Big tech wants to own the infrastructure, startups want to carve niches, and consumers are caught somewhere in the middle, just hoping the tools don't break or invade their privacy. So yeah, that's the snapshot of just a weekend in AI. Mass layoffs, but also huge pivots. New tools that are both exciting and a little scary, and investments signaling where the industry's headed. If this is what happens in a couple of days, I can only imagine what the next week is going to look like. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me and catching up on all the latest. I'll see you in the next one.